Hello friends, today we are going to learn tenses. We already seen present tense. Today we are going to learn about past tense. So let's start. Past tense. First type of past tense is simple past tense. It expresses an action that happened in past and bears no relation to the present time. For example, the play started at 2 p.m. It is also used to report completed actions. It is used to recount and narrate activities. It indicates past habits or repeated events that happened in past but are now over. For example, when I was a kid, I was always afraid of riding a bicycle. Then next, past continuous tense. It denotes an action that was going on at a given period of past. For example, the teacher was teaching in the class and the students were busy chatting. It also denotes persistent habits in the past. For example, in college, she was always playing cricket. It is used to denote a new action happening in the middle of a longer action. For example, the bell rang when the teacher was dictating notes. Then next type is past perfect tense. It is used to denote an action that was completed before a particular time or before another action that took place in the past. The action that ends first takes past perfect and the one that ends second takes simple past. For example, the doctor had left before the patient arrived. Here, had left denotes past perfect and arrived denotes simple past. It is used to express past desires that have yet not been fulfilled. For example, I wish he had met her before. It denotes those conditions of the past that were impossible to fulfill. For example, if I had known earlier, I would not have planned the party. The next type is past perfect continuous tense. It denotes an action that began before a certain time in the past and continued up to that time. For example, at that time, I had been teaching in this school for 6 years. It expresses an ongoing action that was progressive in past. Then next is future tense, simple future tense. It expresses an action that happens in future. It also denotes activities which we cannot control in future and are factual. It denotes what we believe or think will happen in future. For example, I think Priyanka will win Oscar this year. Sometimes if we express an action that we decide to do at the time of speaking, then we use simple future tense. For example, the metro is crowded, I'll take a cab. When we have decided to do something before talking about it, then we use simple future with going to plus base form of the verb. For example, they are going to attend the wedding. Going to is also used when we have to talk about actions that seem likely or certain in the present. For example, they are going to get married. About to is additionally used to express actions in immediate future. For example, we are about to leave for the meeting. Then second type is future continuous tense. It expresses an action that will take its normal course in future. For example, he will be visiting us next week. It also denotes an action that will continue at a given time in future. For example, at this time next year, we all will be attending our conversation. For example, at this time next year we all will be attending our convocation. Future perfect tense. It denotes an action that will be completed by a certain time in the immediate future. For example, by the time you arrive, they will have left for Mumbai. You can either use will or shall to denote the future activity. The rest of the models like may, can, must, etc. denote various expressions of the sentence. Future perfect continuous tense. It is used to denote activities that will be continuing over a period of time and will end in the coming future. For example, by the next semester, she will have been teaching in this school for 10 years. It always emphasizes on the progressive nature of the action in future. Usage of since and for in perfect continuous tense. Since and for are two markers that help us identify the progressive nature of the action. For, it is used with duration of time. For example, I have been reading for 4 hours. She has been studying for a while. For, for past 10 years, the project had been handled by him. Since, it is used only with specific time. For example, she has been working in this company since December 1981. It has been raining since morning. He has not called since last Monday. Similarly, each tense has its specific set of markers that help us understand the context of time better. These markers are a good way to identify the tense. For example, been is only used with perfect continuous tense form. Will and shall will only make an appearance with future tense forms. Future time reference, going to, about to. These expresses action may happen anytime in future, the ones we have no control over. Future as a fact, what we think will happen in future, what we decide to do at the time of speaking. Difference between about to and going to. About to is used to denote immediate future, be plus about to. For example, let's go out. The shop is about to close in a minute. I was about to enter the class when the bell rang. Going to denotes an action that is much certain or likely to happen. For example, looking at the clouds, it seems it is going to rain. She is going to marry him. Some important facts to remember. First, use simple present tense when we have a planned or scheduled future action. For example, the class starts at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Tomorrow is a holiday. Second, simple present tense is also used in subordinate clauses of sentences about future time reference after conjunction of time and condition. For example, we won't go out if it rains. Second, I will come if you invite me. Then third example, I will inform you when the sale starts. Present continuous tense is used to express a definite arrangement in the near future. For example, I am taking an examination in June. When two actions take place in the past at the same time, for example, say series of events, use past indefinite in both the action. For example, I woke up at 6 and went out for a morning walk. I returned home and took my bath. Fifth, when the order of the events is not followed, past perfect tense is used to tell the correct order. For example, before sleeping, I had taken hot milk. 6. An action was in progress when another action took place. Use past continuous tense for the action that was in progress and past indefinite for the action that took place in between. For example, I was watching TV when my friend came. Second, my father was reading the newspaper when the doorbell rang. Then 7. When an action was completed before another took place in the past, use past perfect for the earlier completed action and past indefinite for the one that took place afterwards. For example, the bell had rang before I reached the class. Then 8. Present perfect expresses the completion of an action now, while past indefinite expresses an action that happened at a definite time in past. For example, I have read this book already read. I read this book last year. Adverbs of past tense. Adverb of past time: yesterday, last week, month, year, ago, etc. Adverbs for present perfect: just, recently, never, so far, ever, till now, already, before, yet, today, totally, this week, monthly, year, etc. 9. When there is a past regular habit, we use used to rather than the second form of the verb. For example, while I was at school, I used to visit my grandparents every summer vacation. Second example, I used to go on foot when I had no bicycle. Thank you. Thank you so much.